Hi guys, so you joined me up at Harthill Res. I've done videos up here before, I've caught a load of nice tench, and it's one of them. I caught a few carp along the way, but I just want to come up and target them carp. So I'm going to fish a bomb and pellet, 8mm pellets, pinging pellets over the top, and hopefully we'll get amongst a few of the residents that live in here. It's a really nice venue, up on the top lake, and let's see how the day goes. So, just about to make my first cast. There you can see my 8mm pellet on. Just going to cast, make sure I'm lined up with a far bank marker. Ooh, nicely on the clip. Just sink my line. Make sure that's nicely sunk. Because I'm fishing at a bit of a distance, it can take a little bit longer sometimes just to sink your line, but you want to make sure that it's sunk so it doesn't drift. There we go. You'll see the two ends going to meet. They're just going to meet now. There we are. Get that bit of weed off my tip. And then just put the rod down on the rest. Clamp it down just so if out does pick it up, it's not taking it. Pick my catapult up. And I can just about see where my feeder landed and make sure these are all going down same hole. And I'm just going to ping 4 or 5 pellets. Ping 3 or 4 lots constantly. Give it a minute, 30 seconds and go again. Just keep making that bit of noise and I'll feed for bites and line as an indication. So like I say, I think it'll be 15-20 minutes or so before I get anything. But cast out, leave it 20 seconds, 30 seconds, feed some more and we'll go again. This sort of fishing is dead simple. Literally all I've got with me is some 8mm pellets and a catapult. That's all I'm going to feed, all I'm going to fish. That's my hook bait and my feed bait all in one. Dead simple. Need a nice strong catapult depending on what range you're fishing. So I'm fishing, I don't know, 30-40 metres there, so not ridiculous range but quite a far range. And it's one of them, literally 3 or 4 pellets, 5 pellets at a time, like that, line up and just ping. So as long as you're pulling the exactly the same each time, your pellets will keep going out exactly the same range. And I just keep repeating the process. Like I say, dead simple. What's there? 5-6 pellets, something like that, into the same area. Fire them away, and they're landing bang on spot. And the more you do that, they come to the noise, the more the fish grub around, and you'll just keep getting pulls. So there we go, definitely into a carp. And it feels an half decent one, to be honest. Didn't take too long, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Just kept clinging them pellets in, plopping them in over the top, and they've definitely homed in on sound now. I can see water's turning over a little bit. There's a few fish in area, so hopefully we'll get a few more as well. But for now, concentrate on getting this one in. As you can see, there's a few snags down edges, so just going to try steer him in away from them. Lovely action in the rod. Look at that, nice little powerful rods these are. Soft enough for getting little fish in, but when it comes to landing half decent carp, a decent carp bit looks at this one, I'll say. Look at that. So there we go, as you can see, it gave me a bit of a splash. I reckon good double figures. I wouldn't like to put an estimate on him, but definitely double. He's got a little hole in his top fin. Look at that, lovely fish. And that's what we came for. Ringing the dinner bell, kept him coming, slipping back, and away we go. So that's fish number 1 slick back, and he actually nicked my pellet, so I'm a bit sad about that. So I have to pick up another one straight out of my tub, into the band, and there we go. Simple as that. And then literally cast back out onto the spot. I say spot, you've got a little bit of an area with this sort of fishing. It's clipped up, ain't the same thing, but obviously your pellets spread a bit. Nice little plop. Sink my line. And see the V going. we go. And then pick up my catapult and away we go again. A few pellets, 5 or 6. They obviously like the noise and the sound of them. 3 lots again. Sit and wait 30 seconds, a minute, and then I'll go again. Hopefully we'll catch another. So there we go. I think we might have, it's either a massive bream or a carp. If I had to guess, I'd say, ooh, carp, the way that it's holding, the way it took off. It's not doing a right lot at the minute. Is it going to come to the surface up there? I'm going to go carp. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what it's all about. Some of them bream are that big, they just turn to the side and just hold themselves. But not this much. I've got to say definite carp. There we are, it's coming in now. It's going to be a bream, isn't it? Lovely fish anyway on that bomb and pellet. Still 8 mils. Chucking it 30 metres or so. Oh. There we go. So there we go. That's the culprit. A lovely double figure common. And that's what it's all about on this bomb and 8 mil pellet. Not them bream, these guys. So I'm going to slip him back. Hopefully there's a couple more on the spot and we'll get some more. So just a quick tip if you're doing this sort of fishing for big carp. Obviously the fish are massive, they pull the rod round. Very important to have a butt grip. If you don't, they could just pull your rod straight in. Obviously I've got mine on a feeder arm in a nice U, so it's not coming out of the U. And if it does eventually pull out of the U for whatever reason, it's not going anywhere through there, so it's all safe and secure and you're not going to lose your rod. Oh, and we've got one. Little twitchy one forward that, and then a drop back. It's on top out there. I don't think it's a carp, but it's another fish. The way it's playing, I might say bream. I haven't had any bream yet, but it definitely don't seem like a tench. There we go, let's have a quick look at him. He's got to be pushing £5, look at the size of him. Not ever going to moan at fish like that. What a lovely fish to catch. Slip him back and hopefully there's a few more out there waiting for us. So there you go, he's slipped back. Wipe my hands, get all that slime off. Obviously very slimy creatures, a bream. Some people don't like them, I particularly don't mind them. Take one that size any day and then cast back out on spot. There you go, my bomb, same pellet from Yorkshire, so I'm not going to change it. Whenever it's still there, we'll still keep catching on it. Back out onto the spot, nicely at the clip. Sink on my line. And then we sit and wait for his next one. They're definitely coming for them pellets now. And I reckon if I had a pellet waggler, I reckon I'd catch some more as well, because they're definitely coming up where it's, you can see them where it's on that shadow there, and there's fish milling round coming into pellets. All I've brought with me this time though is obviously a bomb rod, because that's all I came to do. But it feels like another lovely fish. Definitely a few in area though, coming to that bait. The sound of them 8 millis is so important, just keep plopping them in as we've said. And we're into another fish. Feels a nice one does this, to be honest. They're all decent fish in here though, there's not many small ones. Even the bream are massive. The tench are quite cute. We haven't had any tench today, but there is quite a few tench in here. There we go. Another nice mirror carp. So there we go, probably smallest one at session, but when smallest ones at sessions are that big, who cares? There we go, slipping back, probably get one more and then I'll call it a day, I think. So there we go, supposed to be catching carp, but instead got big bream. It's just come to the top and splashed out there, and it looks a nice one to be fair. But typical bream, they don't do a right lot, do they? Lovely fish though. Obviously fishing 8mm pellets to avoid these sort of fish, but when they're that big and they're hungry, there's nothing to avoid. Look at that, what a slab. Can't really moan when the fish are that big. A little bomb there coming up. What a bream that is. Not caught big bream for years. Love to come up and just fish like a waggler or a slider or something for him. Look at that. Oh. He's a big boy. I shouldn't really get too excited about these, but who can't? Look at that. What a beast. Just look him. Look at that. Now that is what you call a slab. What a bream he is. Obviously not a tendage species, but you can't complain when they look that nice. Slipping back, hopefully get a carp. I know there's odd fish on the spot now, I can see him. So, see how we get on. So just in between catching them few fish, I'm going to give you a run through what gear I'm actually using to catch them. So to start with the rod, I've got a 10-foot Supera little feeder rod here, little bomb rod, whatever you want to call it. It's 30 gram weight and loaded with a 420 centrus reel. With that I've got 8 pound sinking feeder mono one, so these some big carp in here, 20 pound plus, so if I do hook into it like that, I don't want to have a light line on that's going to potentially break and obviously lose the fish and it'd be trailing line. So I've stepped it up a bit, 8 pound sinking feeder mono. To that I've got an ICS system, so that's interchangeable. If I want I can literally slide my bomb off. So here I'm using a 20 gram, but if I wanted a bit heavier, 30 gram, if wind got up, literally just try and do this with one hand, slide it up, slide the end off, it comes off, put another one on, and there we go, we're fishing. Same as if you want to change it to a method feeder or anything like that, it just slides off. All the method feeders on the ICS range interchange. It's on a little bead, that stops in there, and then I've got my hook length. So the hook lengths are actually pre-tied, so I'll just spin round here. Here's one I got earlier, 0.19 to a 14 kkm on a band. So they're 15 inches. And that's just clipped onto there, come down, and I've got an 8mm pellet on there. Like I said, I'm feeding 8s, fishing 8s. That is the setup that's going to catch the fish. So I think we're going to call this the last fish now. It's been solid, to be honest. Once they've arrived on them pellets, waiting a few minutes, round it goes, and we've got another one. There we go, it's coming in nicely. Another big fish, lovely big fish these are. There we go. Still got a lot of power. Oh, flicked off his fin then. Nobody likes it when that happens. Go on, get his head in. Once his head's in, the rest of him will follow. Oh, look at that. In he goes. There we go. What a lovely linear to end what's been a fantastic day. Catching carp of this size, all double figures. Some couple of bream to go with them. Who likes a bream? Not many people, but I love them. So I'll slip him back, get home, get some tea on and relax.